Good evening. Good evening. Hope everybody's staying warm and staying dry out there. You know, again, tonight y'all are tuned in to our 22nd episode. I know it's listed wrong up there, and I apologize for that. I did not change it. 22nd episode of Tiger Talk with some Council Gentlemen. We are down one more night. Hopefully next weekend we'll be backed up to full strength. Yeah, I know. My Jeff and I were talking a little while ago about Craig, and he's still battling COVID and having some dealings with having to use some um, prednisone, and so it's still got him down under the weather. But hopefully he'll be back up and going, kicking, and everything else with us next weekend. So,
Yeah,
gonna start out by asking you the same thing I always ask you, Jeff. How was your week?
man, it's been a good one. Short week last week. Um, I, School district I work with, we're on e-learning tomorrow, so don't have to worry about getting out and battling any elements to get to work tomorrow. So um, be blessed to stay home and manage whatever learning we can manage from the house tomorrow.
There you go. Well, on our end, we found out just before we came on air that we will be on a 2 hour delay tomorrow. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but that's the way we're going to roll with it. Like y'all, we had a short week last week, not only for the holiday on Monday, but the last Friday of every month, our school district gives that Friday out of a half a day. We have a half a day, so. And excuse me, y'all. I have to answer these because it's work. But but yeah, it was a good week. And you know, interesting week to say the least on our end. Um, we're going to start out tonight talking about uh, bringing the old back again. You know, can history repeat itself in a positive way? Because as most of y'all know by now, I mean, well, we knew already that Chad Morris is the new OC, and we had his press conference or they had his press conference this past Friday afternoon, and it was kind of a short one. We kind of expected it would be because the meat of that press conference we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But Jeff, what'd you think? I
Well,
mean,
it was nice to hear some of the things that Chad Moore said. I know he talked about pace of play, um, running running a good number of plays, and that's something that we as Clemson fans had gotten used to, uh, trying to trying to use tempo to our advantage. So uh, that seems like a good way for him to get back in the game, so to speak, here at Clemson. The other thing that really stuck out is he made a point to say that we're going to push the ball downfield. I want to say he said taking a couple shots every quarter downfield, and I think that was something that's been sorely missing since Trevor Lawrence days.
yeah.
Freddie, being a high school football coach for several years, heard a guy tell us one time we'd gone on a little professional development, visiting another coach during the summer, and he always said, "You don't have to throw the ball downfield. You don't have to, but you got to make the other team believe that you are capable of it, that you will do it, and that you can be successful at it. If you can do that, and one way you do it is you push it downfield."
Mhm.
And that opens up things uh, certainly for the run game, and then for the intermediate passing game. So I did like that part of it.
I think that there was a video earlier that another friend of mine posted and shared with me, and I agree with it. Said that was when he won people over, and he was actually asked about. He said when he was here the first time, he liked to go down the field twice a quarter,
Yep.
and he wanted to know if that was the way he was. He said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be disappointed if we go down the field twice a quarter." when we are going to go down the field, we're going to try to go down the field at least 3 times a quarter.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that it seems like he's going to emphasize more of a run game,
Yeah.
a two back set, and being honest, that's what we've wanted for I don't know how long, man. I mean, it somebody else pointed out that it felt like at times that Riley wasn't comfortable calling the plays, and it felt forced.
Yeah.
Whereas with Chad Morris, it shouldn't. I mean, that won't be an issue. And so, yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that part. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to seeing now, what he can do.
Yeah.
Now, the question came up, and Dabo made it clear that he did not. He was the one that decided not to go after a quarterback, and I can kind of understand it after getting what they were saying there, because if you bring in one, you're going to lose two.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I mean, because I don't feel like Tate Reynolds is going to continue to stay. This is my opinion. I just don't think that Tate Reynolds is going to come in and, well, you brought in another quarterback. So that tells me right there that, I might as well get ready to transfer by the end of next year
Yeah.
or next season. Hey, I can understand it to a point, you know. Um, Now, who's going to be the starting quarterback next year? I have no clue. I have no idea. I don't think either one of us do. Jeff, do you? I mean, what would you think, or what would you say to that?
I'd say probably Vizina goes in as the favorite, but who knows, Freddie?
Right.
Who knows? I
Well,
really in this whole mix, Taj Boyd might be the linchpin to the whole thing as the quarterback's coach.
yeah,
I understood that correctly. He
yeah,
is moved to a full time role as a quarterback's coach and recruiter.
yep.
Can can he can he get one of those guys ready to play come Labor Day weekend next year? I mean that's going to be the key, I think, to how successful the offense is and how well Chad Morris does in his first season.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, Chad Morris will not be recruiting. Well, let me change that. He will be at Clemson. He will not be on the road, just like
Right.
Tom Allen's not on the road. Um, Taj Boyd will be out recruiting, just like Ben Bulwer is recruiting on the defensive
Mhm.
side, just like other coaches are on the defensive side. The coordinators, Dabo changed that up last year, and the way I understand it, that's pretty much the way those changes are coming across the board, across the country.
Yeah.
So, it's to be expected. Um, you know, Nobody really knows at this point, just from what we've seen, what we really have. Now, you know, I, I love the fans that like to yell, well, Dabo won't change Razuna out because he's the upperclassman and he feels like he owes him. Well, I stand by everything that I've said from the beginning from the first time I ever heard that.
Mhm.
Tell Cole Stout that.
Yep.
Okay.
Kelly
Um,
Bryant, tell him
yeah,
that as well.
tell Kelly Bryant that he doesn't have to worry about
Yeah.
somebody in the that's behind him taking that spot. And even when they say yeah, but they were generational quarterback, nobody knew that.
Nope.
There was no way that any of us knew that Taj Boyd, I mean, that Trevor Lawrence was going to do what he did, or that Deshaun Watson was going to do what he did. Also, keep in mind that Deshaun Watson didn't win it his first year there. I know he had an ACL tear, but think about how long it took him to get, for us to get to that, or the Tigers to get to that level, you
Right.
know, and it could have gone so much differently. But at the end of the day, hey,
Well,
all I can say is we got to cherish what we got.
Freddie, here's one thing I will say. With Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, we saw some glimpses, especially early on. I remember Deshaun Watson with that throw where he threaded the needle
Yep.
in Georgia. You knew right then this cat, he's got a good chance to be it.
Mhm.
I remember Trevor Lawrence when he was rolling left. and turned and made that throw across his body against Georgia Tech
Yep.
in Atlanta, you knew those two guys at those points, they had some abilities. And
All right.
my thought was it was just a matter of time. When will they be? Will it be
Okay.
later on this year? Will it be next game? Will it be the next year? And
I'm gonna be the DA here. I'm gonna be devil's advocate.
all right.
Um, DJU against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay. Cade Klubnik in the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? I mean, both of them. If you go, you know what I'm saying. When you see, you're like, this kid could be it. This could be the next. You know. So I agree with you. I felt the same way, and that's what kind of makes me hesitant now because I felt the same way to an extent about DJU after watching him go up against Notre Dame, and I felt the same way when Cade Klubnik won the MVP of the ACC championship game against North Carolina.
But
Now,
Freddie, I'll say the only difference that I take out of those two is this: those two throws to me, they were kind of jaw dropping. In that, you know, everybody can't make those throws. I don't ever remember DJU nor Cade having one of those type moments early on in their time at Clemson. I don't remember it. They may have had that, but it just didn't stand. Nothing stood out to me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying what I guess that's what I'm getting at though. I'm not saying that they did. What I'm saying is there were, you know, their performances, you know, made you feel like okay, we're not as bad off. Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. And trust me, I'm in total agreement with you. I just, you know, I figured I'd throw it in there and see where it led to because I can still remember people telling me, you know, after those, yeah, man, you know, we've got something now, and I'm like, yeah, and I still feel like I hate it for Cade because I don't feel like Cade was developed just like I don't think Vizina was developed as well either. And the weird thing there is, when Riley came here, that was supposed to be one of his strengths was you know getting quarterback play out of players. You know, so it just I don't know that whole situation really you know makes you wonder what happened and you know maybe it wasn't you know maybe it was a bill of goods that we were looking for that am I saying that right? You know, maybe we were sold on a bill of goods that wasn't legit, I guess.
Yeah.
But hey, the key that I see right now is he's trusting himself or they are trusting that the quarterback room that we've got right now can get them off to the start that they need because I truly don't believe there's a lot of time there. I don't believe that Dabo, for instance, he's not going to have the time that he had from like 2010 to 2016 to get this thing right, if that makes sense.
That makes a ton of sense.
And I think that's evident in that Chad Morris is already saying that he expects to have a top 20 offensive, you know, group in less than 3 years or by year 3. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see.
It will be. It will be. And I hope Taj Boyd is a good quarterback coach because he will definitely if he can get that room ready to play by LSU to be competitive, he will have earned some money then.
Yeah, and keep in mind my understanding from some that I've talked to is that while Garrett Riley was there, Taj Boyd was an assistant, yes, but Taj Boyd did not have the hands-on while Riley was there that he will have going forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know there are a lot of critics out there because Taj is a former player of Dabo's, and you know, but you know what? It is what it is, and here's my thing. We've got to score points. That's the key.
Yeah.
And I don't care who the quarterback coach is or who the offensive coordinator is, as long as they get Clemson to scoring points, I'm gonna be happy. So
Yep.
as a fan,
well, it's going to take it because I don't think we're going to
Yeah.
roll out a defense that's going to hold people to 10 points a game. So
I do too.
we're going to have to score. I think we'll be improved. I think we
Yeah.
got a chance to be improved. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
But I don't see us being a dominant unit.
Now, another thing that we already felt like it was going to be this way, but Thomas Allen is going to take on a larger role from what we gathered in the press conference. Now, I'm trying to we already knew that he was going to, and he's going to be the defensive passing game coordinator and will oversee the secondary. What do you think? Nolan Turner is going to be working under him as the safeties coach.
Well, I'm just in a short sample, and I know you heard about it. Most Clemson fans did. After I think it was at SMU or it might have been Duke, where they made some changes regarding communication, and I guess sort of in season unofficially put him in that position. You did see some improvement there.
Exactly.
So if that's an indicator of what's to come, with him having a full spring in that role, then a fall camp in that role, I can't see anything but it getting better.
Yeah, I was honestly,
about to say with our safeties last year, we got a lot of room to grow. So I don't know if it'll get much worse.
From if what we saw the last half of last year, then the sky's the limit. Another one that I can promise you some fans will be chiming in about is the fact that Nolan Turner, like I said, will be working underneath him. Then you've got Kariko Wright, who's going to be overseeing the nickelbacks.
Yeah.
He's had stints at Delaware, Furman, and James Madison, coaching safeties and corners. So I'll be honest with you, it seems like to me that you're starting to see coaches being brought in that Dabo and Tom Allen trust, which makes a big difference. And you also have Jaron Curse, who's going to be a student assistant this season. I don't believe that's a bad thing. How about you, Jeff? What you think?
No, I don't get in a lot of cases the negativity towards former players being on staff. It's a results-driven game, Freddie. If they come in there and they get the results, to me that is a plus. You've got people who know and understand the culture. Now I see the opposite side. You want a good balance. You want a good mix of seasoned coaches, of coaches who've been in different places and seen different things. So you do want a mix, but if a guy like Taj Boyd comes in as quarterback coach and does a good job, or Hawkins or Nolan Turner or any of those guys, I have zero issue with that part of it. He's brought in some different voices as well. I mean that's the nature of the beast there.
Well, and here's the thing, and I've never gotten a real answer, but I would love to know how many of these fans that are griping about this have ever met. I'm gonna give you three. Have ever met Taj Boyd, C.J. Spiller, or Ben Boulware in person. Keep in mind, I've met all three. And I'm going to tell you now, after talking to Ben Boulware for 5 minutes, I wanted to go knock somebody out. I mean, he's just that intense. I dare say that he's probably a step below Venables as far as intensity goes. All right. Taj Boyd, you talk to him and you can tell right off the bat that, with his demeanor that he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on here. CJ Spiller played in the NFL. He was one of the greatest backs to come through Clemson. He's in the Ring of Honor. I mean, if a player doesn't want to play for somebody like that, then we've got other issues. It's not going to matter who you bring in.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm hoping that CJ's learned, I hope he's learned from last year to this year, because, even though I love him as a coach, and I loved him as a player, there's definitely some room for growth there as a coach in his spot. We'll see more from Taj this year, so we'll know a little bit more. Heck, man, Ben Boulware has been, he's already shown his what he brings to the staff.
Yeah.
So there's really no reason to worry too much there. There were some other. I know that Lazard. All right, so Anthony Lazard is coming from Stanford. He'll be an assistant of Dennis Love on the strength and conditioning, and then he was saying something about the special teams coordinator. I'm trying to remember what it was. He said he has a plan there, but he's going to make an announcement a little bit later. All right, on the offensive side, you had we already talked about Taj Boyd coming in, taking on a larger role. Then you have Mike Miller being added to the staff. He was at Alabama, Maryland, and Charlotte, and served as the 49ers offensive coordinator from 23 to 24. Also, you're going to have Lonnie Galloway coming in as an unpaid assistant. Oh, no, excuse me. He's going from being an unpaid assistant to being the senior offensive assistant this year. And then Jacoby Ford is also returning as a player development coach, along with Artavis Scott. I did not know that Artavis Scott was the wide receivers coach at Howard last year. Did not know that.
Wasn't he the one that kind of made that connection with the DM from Howard? I want to say I heard.
I think, yeah. All right, it says here, wide receiver at Howard last season was serving as an assistant running backs coach for the Tigers. He played a role in defensive end C.J. Wesley transferring from Howard to Clemson. Yes. And then, of course, we know Freddie Kitchens is coming in to serve as a volunteer assistant role. Yeah. I have no complaints with the coaching staff at this point. I mean, what about you? I mean, anything that you would have done differently?
Oh no, I mean, I think those roles and the people that he's gone out and brought in, support staff, and those roles. I mean, those are areas to develop coaches. Those are areas to help the program get better, and bringing guys in that you're familiar with. I'm not against that in its nature. I know, and honestly, Freddie, the results will tell us one way or the other. I mean, people, if the results aren't good, then people are going to start nitpicking at that. But the opposite would be true as well. If the results weren't good, because he went out and hired from outside the program and brought them in. I mean, Garrett Riley, I mean, that's an example. Everybody praised that going outside the program, and then didn't go as well as we wanted and as well as we expected. So it's a results driven game, and people are going to be happy if you win. Doesn't matter where they come from. Doesn't matter what their roots are. They're going to be happy. And if you
What's the
don't
old
win,
saying?
they're not going to be happy.
What's the old saying? Winning solves everything.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
fixes everything.
Yep.
And I'm in agreement with you on that one. Yes. It's going to be interesting to see, for me, how they gel, how this coaching staff does together. And you know whether there needs to be some tweaks or anything after next year, because as we both know, next year to me, will be the learning curve, and the you know the you're going to have a bunch of changes. What I'll be interested to see also is how we do as we go through next season. I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to be ready to fire anybody after game one, because I want to see if we improve from game one to the South Carolina game, if that makes sense, or the ACC
Yeah.
championship game. Because we don't know. We none of us do right now.
No.
So um, all right. So let's move on a little bit and um, talk about what everybody really wants to talk about.
Yes.
Okay, and that is the the press conference that showed Dabo, in my opinion, spilling his guts out.
Yep.
Also, letting the NCAA know that you know it's time to do something. You know, um, kind of like we talked about before the show. What happens now? The ball's in their court. So, all right, what'd you think?
Well, number one, uh, for Golding to text the kid directly. I mean, come on, come on. Uh, I, what are you thinking? Unless you're just thinking, hey, what are they going to do? I mean, they're not going to do anything, and if that's the case, then I guess so be it. But come on, man, that's just you're just asking for this stuff to blow up. And then, like you've said in the past, I want to say last weekend you made this statement: when you're gonna go after the one who doesn't have the skeletons in the closet that we know about, I don't believe he does. Who's probably done it as close to the right way as anybody has over the last however many years. You play him with fire on that
Oh yeah.
because these other guys that and Dabo referenced those coaches that called him and said, "Guess what happened to me? You won't believe what happened to me." There's a reason they're not speaking out,
Yep.
and it's probably because they've done some similar things. But Dabo certainly he laid it on the line and
What
told him to put up or shut up. One of the
what I
two.
thought was really funny was whenever he was talking, and he said the only response that Golden gave was, "Well, they're doing it to us." And
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with Dabo. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
And sadly enough, your position is a lot different than what ours is, because guess what? When Ole Miss decided to let Lane Kiffin go like he did,
Mm-hmm.
you know, pretty much opened the door, because you had to know he was coming after him. But here's the thing, and I don't know whether to blame Golding or blame Lane Kiffin for not giving. All right, do you blame Kiffin for not giving Golden a better class on how to cheat, or do you blame Golding for being too stupid to realize, oh, when he said don't do it this way, he really meant don't do it this way? You know, I mean, I was really expecting it to be some assistant or somebody besides Golding on that text. It blew my mind a little bit whenever it came out that it was actually Pete Golding. That, hey, I know you're already under contract, but what's the buyout? On top of that, who pays a sophomore linebacker? And I understand he was the defensive player of the year. I get that. Okay. All right. But what I think is funny there is, all people talk about is how bad the ACC is and how
Yeah.
horrible the ACC is, but yet the defensive player of the year just got a $2 million deal being poached from, an ACC team to play in the SEC, where
Oh
supposedly
yeah,
they are way better.
head
And
and shoulders, man.
yeah, I mean, they're just the elite of the elite. Okay. So you're telling me that you couldn't get a linebacker from the SEC to come play for you? Or the ACC is a little better than you think you claim they are.
Well,
So
we both know that that it is number two. And Freddie, I'm not a ACC apologist. Honestly, for a lot of them, I could care less.
yeah,
Um, if it benefits Clemson somehow, I'm great. But if it doesn't, I don't. I honestly don't care if any of the other ACC
look,
teams win anything. Um, I it's baffling that they would be so blatant with it
mhm.
and set themselves up. If the NCAA has any kind of spine and any ability to
Yep.
enforce anything, if they are a legitimate organization, this should be cut and dried,
Mhm.
open and shut. I mean, Dabo said it. It's not a 3-month
That
investigation. It's
there
not
you
a
go.
three. It's a 3-day
Yep.
investigation. We should
Yep.
see this thing wrapped up. We'll give them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We don't expect them to work on the weekend.
That's
But
right.
Wednesday afternoon, if they've got any kind of spine or any kind of ability to enforce anything, this puppy should be wrapped up and we should be hearing something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean it. Do I believe that there's going to be a huge thing, or that I, I know Dabo kept saying he doesn't want anybody to get fired or anything like that. I don't believe anybody's getting fired anyway. I think I don't even think it's a major violation for tampering. In other words, it's not going to warrant the death penalty or anything like that. But here's something else that was brought up this over the last couple of days, and I think this could play some part into it. All right, if it was Lane Kiffin, I don't believe anything would be done. But it's not Lane Kiffin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a new coach in a new role. Okay, first time head coach. Could they make an example? I mean, it wouldn't shock me. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking at too. You know, it's gonna be that's gonna be. I know I keep saying it's gonna be interesting to see this podcast, and I promise you, I'm not just using it to fill the air, so to
Yeah.
speak. I'm actually saying it because I do believe some of these things are going to be very interesting going forward. Um, Precedents, you know, just like we talked about Tristan Smith earlier. All right, Tristan Smith is appeal to the well, not appeal, but when he asked him for an extra year, he was denied.
Yeah.
So now he's suing the NCAA, and it just baffles me a little bit that every case seems like that the NCAA has let go to trial, they've lost.
Yeah.
So why would all right? And here we go with precedence is already there. Pavia got his time.
Yep.
So what was I mean? And from all indications, pretty much the same thing. He played. Um, Tristan Smith played 2 years at JUCO before he transferred to an FCS school and then
Right.
came to us. So Pavia did that, got a year. Why would Tristan Smith not be given a year? And I do kind of feel sorry for Tristan Smith because we're all the time talking about players making millions of dollars and the NIL and all this stuff. How many have actually looked at it and realized that because of him being in the JUCO at the JUCO level, he lost credits when he came to Clemson. When
Mm-hmm.
he enrolled at Clemson, he lost credits, which means he's not doing this just to play football. He's asking for this because he needs another year to graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only way that he can afford it is to play football and get that scholarship. So, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of like you. I told you before the show started, I believe, in my opinion, that we are in the latter days of the NCAA. And, and I don't know if they can. It's almost like watching, and I hate to say it this way, but if you remember back when Brett Favre played with the Vikings that last year, he got to the playoffs and he got beat like a drum. I'm talking about they hit him from every way. It felt like to me that Brett Favre couldn't see the writing on the wall that it was time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it took him getting beat down to realize, you know what, I'm done. And it feels that way to me with the NCAA. It's like they can't see the forest for the trees, you
Yeah.
know. And there again, I mean, they've got a chance to make a statement here on two different things, on two different issues, and it's going to be entertaining to see how that all plays out.
It definitely will be, Freddie. You look at, and you made the point earlier about Pete Golding being a new coach,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have the same credibility that an established coach would be.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you want to make an example, if you feel like you can make an example,
Mm-hmm.
then this might be the spot.
Yeah.
But the flip side of it is, if you can't do anything about this, or you will not do anything about it, I don't think they would, if they don't do anything, it's because they don't feel like they can do anything. Then the organization is done. I mean,
Yeah.
What good is it anymore?
Exactly.
You break off and let major college football pretty much run itself. Set up another group and figure out a way to run itself. I mean, that's the only thing at this point that's left. As far as the NCAA goes, they'll be left overseeing the basketball tournament and the Olympic sports, and football will be off the table for them. I just don't. This is just so cut and dried. It's so obvious that if you can't do anything with this, you're useless as an organization in that case.
This time it was a slap in their face, is the way it feels. In other words, just like you said, it was so blatant that, nobody missed it. Okay.
Yeah.
And sadly enough, the biggest thing that I've heard so far or seen so far is, what's the NCAA going to do? What can they do? I mean, it's the wild, wild west. Yeah, you're right. It is. But, and here's what I thought was ironic too. Okay. You said it a little while ago. You don't mess with the guy that doesn't have the skeletons in his closet. But at the same time, was it last year or the year before that Dabo made the statement that the NIL's not bad, the portal's not bad. What's bad is the tampering, and you need to get a handle on the tampering.
Yeah.
Well, fast forward to 2026, and here we are. Not only are they tampering behind the scenes, they're tampering they're sending texts to the players in school enrolled and going, hey, come on over here.
Yeah,
And
it's one thing to have your guy talk to this guy's agent and do some backdoor stuff, but I mean, it's like we don't care. We do what we want to do.
I'm glad you brought up that about talking to the agent. I still love the fact that the agent, the agent didn't want to burn any bridges with Ole Miss, but Dabo, if y'all will match the $2 million, we'll give you the text and y'all can burn them. Wait a minute. Okay. So your kid is already signed with us and you're going to extort us for more money. and this is what I love too. And trust that if we do that, then you'll give us the text that you didn't want to give us to start with because you didn't want to burn any bridges with Ole Miss. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of, this whole thing has been um, it's been sad, funny, um, all at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
and there's been so much drama with it until it's just not even funny. I mean, um, a buddy of mine notified me the other day or yesterday, I think it was that that um, the kid has now cut off all of his, or no, it's not cut it off, but you have to be approved to be able to see his tweets now. And I'm like, hey, dude, I mean, you told the stuff, you said the stuff. I mean, and all of a sudden you're supposed to be the victim. I don't see how that works that way. Now, don't get me wrong. I totally am in agreement with Dabo when he said that this is a kid and the ones that need to be held accountable are the adults in the position. Because no matter how we want to look at it, yeah, we all know
Mhm.
that the kid is listed as I mean, he's an adult.
Yeah.
Legally, he's an adult, but at the same time, um, the kid was in class, so he was doing what he was supposed to do. And like I've told several people, um, if I offered you $2 million, you turn it down.
Nah.
To this point, nobody that I've talked to said I've already signed a contract and I'm not go. Yeah, okay, all right. So I get it. I'm glad you can live that way because I'm gonna tell you now, I live paycheck to paycheck, and somebody offers me quadruple what I'm making right now.
Yeah.
I got to look at that.
You, you, you go explore it at least.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
that side of it. Yeah. But Freddie, they say sunshine is a great disinfectant. The sun has shined on. Everybody knew that there was all this shaky business going on underneath the surface, but
yeah,
I think this has brought it to light, and this might be the catalyst uh, to either make some change within the NCAA or just push the NCAA on out.
yeah.
Let's set up a new model, because if we were starting from scratch today, there is no way anybody would set up the system that's in place now.
No,
Nobody would, in their right mind, would dream of putting that system together.
uh,
So just just go ahead and let's pull the plug on this system, do something different, better, because nobody operates like this.
I,
Nowhere. I don't think there's an example of anywhere that
no.
operates the way our current NCAA operates.
I love what you said a minute ago that yeah, the sunshine, yeah. In this case, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna go a step further. I don't believe that I've ever seen a case where a spotlight was shining down on somebody in the sunlight and put light on them like this has. I
Yeah.
believe you got the sunshine out there and you got a spotlight coming down going, hey, I'm gonna help you out with this. And it's
Oh yeah.
it's just blatant, man.
Yeah.
So I also thought it was hilarious that anybody that watched the press conference will know what we're talking about here. Uh, when they first got to Clemson, they were coming from Ole Miss. When they first came to Clemson for the the visit, Dabo asked him how it went. His daddy said it was horrible. It was a disaster. There's no organization, none whatsoever.
Chaos.
Horrible place. And Dabo tells us, says, well, y'all go get some rest. And I hope you'll have a better experience here, and I promise you it'll be organized. And, it went from that to $2 million makes it organized.
Yeah.
I mean, the old saying, money can't buy you love. Well, I believe the daddy is saying that is incorrect.
Yeah.
All right, Paul is chiming in. He says, biggest problem is the parents. I'm gonna agree with Paul here, but at the same time, I don't think it's just the parents. I think you have now you have agents and everybody else involved. I believe it's
Mhm.
a mixture of them all. Used to be the parents because you couldn't have agents. Now you can have agents.
Right.
How about you, Jeff? What you think?
Oh yeah, I mean there's enough blame to go around, and certainly Uh, and I don't know his family dynamics, Forelli's family, but you would look to the parent first to
Mm-hmm.
be the first adult in the room and that kid's advocate, and to be there to help guide them through that situation. So I think it would start there, but there's enough blame in this situation to go across the board.
Yep.
It's just all over the map, and I think it starts. Most people, if you lay out some rules that everybody can play by, and there's some consequences for those rules, then they gonna try to push them a little bit in some cases, but they're gonna stay close to them. And in
Mm-hmm.
this case, there are rules there, and nobody believes that there are any consequences for them. Because you can't tell me Pete Golding is not an intelligent person to get to where he is, to the point that he's going to send a text directly to the kid if he felt like it would get him a a show cause
Yeah.
note added to his ability to work with the NCAA. One of those type penalties. I saw
Yeah.
somewhere where there was in one of the Olympic sports, a coach had been given a 3-year show cause for doing some tampering through the transfer portal. Nobody doesn't care about it because it's one of those non-revenue sports. But
Mm-hmm.
if that's going to be the consequence for it, if he believed that was a possible consequence, he would have at least tried to go around and use some back channels, if anything else, like they did in the old days. Where's the good old bag man at?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need them back,
Yeah.
not the head coach directly delivering the money.
I'm telling you, man, it baffles me that, that hadn't been thought, or he didn't think about that. But there again, I'm kind of like you there. It makes you think that, he's looking at what they gonna do to me,
Yeah.
you know. You know, I also think it's funny that his excuse or their excuse is it's being done to us, but you notice they're not turning anybody in. See,
Oh no.
now that's a whole nother avenue. You know, it's easy to tell, oh yeah, it's been going on, man, and think about what they did to me, and think about what they did to us here at so and so. Well, yeah, but kind of like somebody else brought up, if you're not willing to come out and tell somebody about it,
Mm-hmm.
that tells you everything you need to know about what you've been doing yourself.
Oh yeah.
That two wrongs and they think it equals right, you know. Um, so now my nephew brought up a good point, and I had not thought about this, but again, we talk about, we know that everybody, I mean, he's legally an adult, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But Forelli, if you think about this thing, is from California. So he leaves California and comes to Clemson. All right. And very easily, Golding and them probably were playing on his emotions there too. First time away from home, first
Yeah.
time that far away. And if I'm gonna be that far away from home, it'd be a lot better to make money while I'm here than it would be to, make less money.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Those guys they're good salesmen. They know what they're doing.
Oh
They
yeah.
know how to
Oh yeah.
recruit, and
Oh yeah.
they'll play those angles. If they figure
You know,
that there's an angle there, they're successful for a reason. So,
mhm.
um, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And to a certain degree, that's recruiting. That's kind of expected. These guys are going to sell their university,
Yeah.
but when we recruit kids who are not attached and tied
Yep.
to an organization, who hadn't
There you go.
signed with anybody, who's not enrolled.
Well,
That's that's the thing.
I'll tell you somebody else that are another group that's watching this closely, and that is the bagmen. Because if they don't do anything to Golden, their jobs are gone, man.
Oh yeah,
They're no longer needed.
yeah, oh yeah. Oh
So,
man.
all right, y'all. We did not plan on going over tonight since the weather's so bad, but I was looking at the clock and we have gone over by
Yeah.
about 20 to 30 minutes. So, with that being said, hopefully everybody out there is staying safe and staying dry and staying warm.
Yes.
I'll say the same thing to you, Jeff. We I have not, and I apologize because Miss Tammy Crow has been helping us out with our logo and stuff, and we've gotten it done. But I I I know I said something about her the first week, but I wanted to say something about her last week. Wanted to tell her thank you for all of her help. Got somebody else that's helping me out, helping us out with the intro videos and the outro video. We're trying to get all of that fixed up, and includes the logo and all of that stuff. So hopefully we'll get that straight pretty soon. We also hope that Craig gets to feeling better.
Yes.
Hopefully
Definitely.
this week is the last week of that battle with COVID. Jeff, I appreciate you, man, more than you know.
Hey, enjoyed it.
And
Hey, want to give a shout out to Brad Brownell and his crew.
yeah, I'm glad you
Good
said
bounce
that.
back win yesterday.
Yep. They had a little bit of a lull over the week and lost one game that was winnable.
Yeah.
But I agree that win yesterday was, in Georgia, in Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
It was an impressive win.
Good
And
win. Good win.
we
Well,
they keep
hey,
rolling along. Poppy and Clemson got their first quad one win today
yeah.
over Notre Dame. So another good win for them. Want to give a big shout out to Paul Blackwell. He continues to chime in and
Thank you,
be
Paul.
our big supporter there. Paul, bring us some other people, buddy. Man, we'll get it going. We'll talk. We'll answer questions that we can, and if we
Yeah.
don't have the answers, we'll get them for you. We may make them up for you if we need to. But
Hey, Freddie, one good thing came out of Tuesday night. Even though we lost in overtime, my daughter went to the game and got a bucket hat. So
there you go.
that.
There you go. Congratulations, man. But yeah, another great week to be a Tiger.
Yeah.
Next week we'll see what we've got to talk about, and hopefully y'all can chime in and tune in, and y'all are enjoying it. Remember, if you are liking it, remember to subscribe to the YouTube page. Friend us on Facebook. We check it and we try to get the friend request accepted as soon as we can. Also, you can send us messages and ask us questions, and we'll try to get you what you need.
Yep.
So, but until next time, remember, y'all, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.